Hi, everybody. Welcome back and thank you for your time and spending it with me. I took another day off this week, this time to join my daughter and grandson going to our local old age homes family day, a day on which they open the grounds, have stalls with food, drinks, music, in order to collect funds to give our oldies and staff a good Christmas. We went a little later in order to miss the biggest rush, but I bought the cutest set of books, a craft book for my daughter, and my grandson bought himself a vintage mug. Then we went and bought an array of biscuits, pancakes, and fat cook filled with spiced meat. We bought sausage rolls and delicious desserts. So suffice it to say that we overindulged on sweet stuff yesterday. If you're interested in having a glimpse of our day, you can pop over to my daughter's channel and watch a short video she put up of our morning. Okay, so on to our royal beat. I was going to talk more about Harry's book, but I decided not to, and here is why. Firstly, I'm not only suffering from Harry and Meghan fatigue, but also from royal fatigue. Most of you who walk this road with me will know by now that I'm not happy with Meghan and Harry and their behavior. And by now, I can honestly say I intensely dislike Meghan. Everything about her, and particularly everything that comes out of her mouth. You will also know that I'm not a fan of King Charles. Do not really mind the Queen Consort Camilla, one way or the other, and adore Catherine, Sophie, and the Princess Royal Anne. I like William and Edward, enjoy Zara and Mike, and the rest can honestly sit up in my soup. I pay attention when I see one of the others in the news, but do not seek them out. So that is how it is with me. And with the exception of the Queen, whom I adored, Prince Philip, and Diana, that is basically how it has been for many, many years. I state that as fact because I want you to hear it, believe me, or then take my word for it. Having said that, I have always said that on this channel I will be fair, even to those I do not like. So, I was contemplating why I feel so despondent, so negative, and so cold towards the royal family, and rather tired of the royal family as a whole lately, as I have always, for most of my 59 years, drank up everything about the royals, bought magazines just because it had one of them on the cover. So I had to analyze my feelings. Is it because I'm tired? It is the end of the year. I worked hard and the year had its ups and downs, or is it something else? I came to a rather surprising realization after a lot of contemplation, and I'm not exactly sure how to convey my feelings to you, but I'm going to give it a try. Like I said a minute ago, it had been my intention to always be fair, and that is exactly why I decided not to talk about Harry's book today. The media is telling us how devastating Harry's book will be to the royal family, how it may hurt the king's coronation, and so on and so on. But, guys, on further reflection, I decided I don't care. Yes, I am going to call Harry out on any and all lies in the book. Yes, I am going to analyze his psyche and so forth. But I do not care about what it will do to King Charles on his coronation, because, in my opinion, it will be karma and nothing but karma. Just like his son is bringing out this book mere months before his father's coronation, the king himself cooperated with Jonathan Dimbleby in his book, The Prince of Wales, a book which was published during the Queen and Prince Philip's historic tour to Russia. The book dominated the news for weeks and took the focus off the Queen and Prince Philip's tour. I want to read just a few sentences to you from the book. And here is one. By her, now talking about Diana, he fathered 2 healthy sons, after which he soon sought comfort, consolation, and companionship elsewhere. There was criticism in the press of his wayward and unfocused life, but the idea that he should be given serious employment, such as a proconsular posting, did not secure the necessary approval. At his country house and in London, the prince set up what was virtually an alternative court in waiting. Now, does that sound familiar? Think of Harry's wayward and unfocused life, his lack of serious employment, and setting up or trying to set up an alternative court in America. In the Dimbleby book, the then Prince Charles made it clear to all the world that as a boy he had felt neglected at home and abandoned at school. He said, and I quote, his parents did not cherish him or understand him in the way that his grandmother, the Queen Mother, did. Later in the book, it states, overall, his memories of his childhood are not happy ones, and they go back a long way. Charles was 46 when Dimbleby's book was published, 45 when he had the series of interviews with Dimbleby. So indeed, he was as much an adult as Harry is now. Now, talk about an adult male indulging in a whinge and moan fest, and we automatically think about Harry, and we completely forget about his father, who did exactly the same. So, in all fairness, how dare we blame or criticize Harry? Well, maybe we can, as we likely criticized Charles at the time. But his father, Harry's father, certainly cannot and dare not hold the book against him. And this, my dear friends, is what I came to realize as I scrolled through my comments on Instagram. My fatigue surrounding the royal family comes from the double standards applied to the family by a large portion of society. A perfect example of these double standards is a back and forth I had with someone on Instagram, and it started with a conversation about King Charles selling 14 of the Queen's racehorses and getting a cool £1 million for them. Now, take into consideration that the king and his siblings are exempt from inheritance tax, which, if they would not have been exempt, is estimated to have amounted to approximately £45 million. As he inherited the horses and the estate has definitely not been finalized yet, it is logic that the million will go into the estate, and thus eventually into the king's back pocket without a penny going to tax. Something I think and feel is highly and very unfair to all the citizens of Britain, particularly in light of Britain's current economic climate, high inflation rate, etc. Yet this person does not care. According to her, the multi-millionaire or billionaire king is entitled to every cent, including the tax, as she does not care because she has plenty of heating in her home. And she says as much when I told her that I have a friend in England who is too afraid to switch the heating on in her home because of the cost thereof. Yes, indeed, this person says, it doesn't bother me as long as my kids are okay. That's good for me. I don't go around worrying about other people's problems. Yes, that is the kind of crap I get when I dare talk about Charles. Now you tell me, how do you even hope to turn your country around economically and thrive again if this is the selfish, narcissistic attitude when it comes to one 74-year-old grey-haired man who shits just like you? And then, to add insult to injury, I love Catherine. I absolutely adore her, and honestly have yet to find fault with her as a person. I honestly think she is currently the jewel in the monarchy's crown. I sincerely do. But does that mean that I have to like every shoe, handbag, or outfit she wears? I should hope not, because I do not judge people superficially according to what they wear. Catherine can wear a bin liner. I'll think it looks trashy. I'll even say it looks trashy, but I will still like her. So basically, that is what happened. I honestly was not impressed with how Catherine looked in Scarborough. That camel color over camel color was drab and reminded me too much of a couple of Megsy Daisy's outfits. I wasn't impressed with her hair either. It looked flat and unbrushed, just like Megsy's sometimes. What I said is 100% true. And here is the photographic evidence. And that was all I meant. The conversation was purely about Catherine's clothes on that day, and everyone was waxing lyrical about how stylish she looked and how pretty she looked. And in my opinion, our princess has done much better before, can do better, etc. Oh, my word. How dare I say that? Yes, I dare. It is my opinion and my taste, and it does not mean that suddenly I stopped liking Catherine. I just did not like the outfit and the hair, and it reminded me way too much of outfits that Meghan wore that I did not like. End of story. The point is, though, that if you differ from me and you truly did like Catherine's camel over camel or beige over beige outfit and her unbrushed hair, then you should also have liked Meghan's similar outfit because that is your taste, no matter who wears it. So once again, it is not the royal family or even Meghan and Harry who make me feel fatigued. It is the people who are so fickle and applying double standards to suit their narrative who are getting to me. And then, just as I took a few breaths and started rejuvenating myself, I watched a clip of one of my favorite royal authors and commentators, Angela Levin, talking to Nana Akua. In this interview, Angela states that King Charles cannot take Harry and Meghan's titles, that it is entirely up to Parliament. No, it is not. It is up to the king, and he only needs to inform and get Parliament's approval. I do not believe for 1 second that Angela Levin does not know the difference between an honorary royal title and a peerage title. She has been around the royals far too long. So why would she go on television and sprout such drivel and utter nonsense? Dear Angela, you know your history and you know it has been done before and can be done again. Anyway, and then she sprouts off about Mike Tyndall being on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. Oh my goodness, Lord help me. Mike Tyndall is not royal. He does not have a royal title. He is not in the line of succession, and he does not receive a single penny from the royal family. Mike only happens to be married to the untitled daughter of the Princess Royal. No, seriously, Angela Levin, I think either you got paid to lie and talk nonsense, or you are losing it and need to retire and leave on a high, and while we still love and respect you. Anyway, guys, so that is why I am suffering from royal fatigue and need to take a breath and change my narrative a little for the next few days. So, in the coming days, I'm going to go back to research, which is much less emotional, more fact based, and more of a challenge and interesting than getting mad or irritated with people in the public domain. Okay, guys, so that is it from me for today. I'll be back as soon as possible. And until then, I would love for you to take excellent care of yourselves. So until we meet again on the next one, bye.